In the year 260, something happened that had never occurred before in the history of Rome, and it would never happen again. A Roman emperor, supreme commander of legions conquering half the known world, was captured alive on a chaotic battlefield in the east. His name was Valerian, and the powerful man who took him prisoner was Shapur, the formidable king of kings of the Sasanian Persian Empire. Whether Valerian was seized during combat at Edessa or betrayed during peace negotiations, historians still debate, but the undeniable outcome remained. Shapur didn't just celebrate his victory with coins or temple inscriptions, he ordered the entire scene carved into the living rock at Nakshi Rustam. There it remains today. The Roman Emperor Valerian kneels before the Persian King Shapur for eternity, frozen in stone, a permanent humiliation. This wasn't the boast of a minor warlord, for the Sasanian Empire was a powerful superpower that had just humiliated Rome significantly. This humiliation would echo across centuries. Yet when we learn about this pivotal era today, we hear almost nothing about the powerful Persians. Our history textbooks tell a simple story: the fall of Rome, followed by the rise of various barbarians, and then the onset of the Middle Ages. There is a great civilization missing from that popular narrative, one that stood toe-to-toe with Rome for over 400 years and outlasted it by centuries. To understand what the West has forgotten, we need to go back to the 3rd century, when the Parthian Empire ruling Persia for centuries was collapsing. Regional governors fought among themselves, creating internal weakness, while Rome actively pushed eastward, aggressively sensing a prime opportunity for expansion. In 224, a Persian nobleman named Ardashir led a powerful rebellion from the province of Pars, the historic heartland of ancient Persia. He decisively defeated the last Parthian king in a decisive battle, and within months, Ardashir declared himself Shahanshah, founding the powerful Sasanian dynasty. Ardashir wasn't interested in simply replacing one dynasty with another, for he wanted to resurrect the glory of the ancient Achaemenid Empire. This was the Persia of Cyrus and Darius, which had once stretched from Egypt to India, and the Sassanians saw themselves as rightful heirs to that mighty legacy. They centralized power, reformed the military, and established Zoroastrianism as the state religion, giving the empire a cultural and spiritual unity. This powerful unity it had lacked under the Parthians, and then they turned their unified attention westward, toward the greatest rival of all Rome. For the next 4 centuries, these two mighty empires would clash repeatedly along the contested frontier in fertile Mesopotamia, an eternal struggle. Cities changed hands dozens of times, treaties were signed and broken, emperors and shahs rose and fell, but the border remained contested always. The Romans called it the Eternal War, and with good reason, because unlike Germanic tribes or Huns, the Sassanians were not mere raiders. They were an organized state with professional armies, advanced siege engineers, and the vast resources to match Rome campaign for campaign, a true rival. At its magnificent height under Shapur II in the 4th century, the Sasanian Empire controlled approximately 3.5 million square kilometers. From the majestic Caucasus Mountains to the mighty Indus River, from the Arabian Desert to the vast steppes of Central Asia, Sasanian authority held firm. This wasn't just about military might, as the Sassanians also controlled key sections of the Silk Road, which were crucial trade routes. Caravans carrying precious silk, exotic spices, and dazzling gemstones passed through Persian territory, where the powerful shahs taxed every valuable transaction. That immense wealth funded something truly remarkable. While Rome fragmented and barbarian kingdoms formed, the Sassanians were busy building cities. They built grand universities and incredible monuments that rivaled anything in the ancient world, and their capital city, Ctesiphon, became a true wonder. In Ctesiphon, architects constructed the magnificent Takhasra, an immense audience hall crowned by the largest brick vault ever built in antiquity. The impressive arch soared over 30 meters high and spanned 25 meters without any internal supports, a truly incredible feat of engineering that still stands today. But the Sassanians didn't just build monuments. Under Khosrow I in the 6th century, the Academy of Gandhishapur flourished as an intellectual center. Scholars came from Greece, India, and Syria to study advanced medicine, intricate astronomy, and profound philosophy, fostering a truly global intellectual exchange. When the Byzantine Emperor Justinian closed the Neoplatonic Academy in Athens in 529, Greek philosophers were forced to flee east. They found welcome in Persia, where Sassanians translated Greek medical texts into Pahlavi, preserving vital knowledge that would later flow into the Islamic Golden Age. Meanwhile, within Sasanian borders, Jewish scholars were diligently compiling the Babylonian Talmud, one of the central and foundational texts of Judaism. Despite being a Zoroastrian state, the Sasanian Empire allowed religious minorities to flourish, creating a truly cosmopolitan culture that spanned continents. This was the true reality of late antiquity, not simply Rome versus barbarians, but two great civilizations powerfully locked in fierce competition. For much of that time, Persia was decisively winning, and when the Western Roman Empire fell in 476, the Sassanians barely even noticed. They were still fighting Byzantium. But something dramatically changed in the 6th century as the endless, costly wars with Byzantium began to significantly drain both powerful empires. In 602, a Byzantine emperor was brutally overthrown and murdered, and his general, a Persian ally, asked Khosrow II to help him avenge the death. Khosrow saw a vast opportunity, and Persian armies invaded Byzantine territory, sweeping through without stopping, capturing Antioch and then Damascus. Then in 614, the unthinkable occurred. Jerusalem was captured. Persian soldiers then carried the true cross, Christianity's most sacred relic, back to Ctesiphon as a trophy. Within a decade, Persian armies stood menacingly at the gates of Constantinople itself, while another formidable force occupied Egypt, cutting off vital grain supplies. It seemed like the Sasanian Empire was truly on the verge of achieving what Rome never could: total and undisputed dominance of the entire known world. But victories that look inevitable in the moment can unravel faster than anyone truly imagines, shifting fortunes unexpectedly and dramatically. The greatest emerging threat to the powerful Sasanian Empire wasn't gathering on the Byzantine frontier. It was emerging from a place neither empire was even watching. In 632, while Sasanian generals celebrated their recent Byzantine victories, a new unforeseen force suddenly erupted from the Arabian Peninsula. The armies of Islam, unified under a revolutionary faith, swept north with a speed and conviction that shocked both empires, facing an enemy unlike any. The pivotal Battle of Al-Qadisiyah in 636 became the turning point, as for 4 days, Sasanian war elephants and armored cavalry clashed violently. When the dust settled, the Sasanian commander lay dead, the road to Ctesiphon stood open, and an empire that had weathered Rome for centuries began to crumble. Ctesiphon fell in 637, and the grand capital, with its soaring Tak-Kasra arch and imperial treasuries, was abandoned as the Sasanian court fled east. For 14 more years, Sasanian rulers fought a desperate retreating war across the vast Iranian plateau, clinging to fragments of their mighty realm, but the momentum was irreversible. In 651, the last Sasanian king, Yazdijir III, was tragically murdered in a humble mill near Merv, betrayed and utterly alone. For centuries of Persian imperial power ended not with a grand siege, but with a king dying in obscurity, far from the monuments his ancestors had carved. The empire was truly gone. But here's what the simple conquest narrative often misses. When Islamic civilization rose, it didn't erase what the Sassanians had truly built. Instead, it absorbed bureaucratic systems, architectural innovations, and profound philosophical traditions, all flowed directly into the emerging and rich Islamic world. The scholars of Shapur didn't vanish. They became the esteemed translators and physicians of the Abbasid courts, preserving Greek philosophy and Persian science. The administrative genius governing 3.5 million square kilometers became the backbone of the powerful caliphate, while Sasanian art motifs appeared on mosques from Baghdad to Cordoba. Even the beautiful Persian language survived, evolving into the literary tongue of Islamic courts for a remarkable 1,000 years, preserving a rich cultural heritage. Gardens, poetry, and the concept of kingship itself weren't destroyed by conquest, but transformed, carried forward, woven into the fabric of a civilization spanning continents. Yet in Western textbooks, this magnificent empire barely appears. The narrative arc runs solely from Greece to Rome to the fall of the Western Empire. It's as if the medieval world emerged from Roman ashes alone, while the Sassanians, if mentioned at all, are reduced to footnotes as Rome's enemy. This historical erasure is a deliberate choice, not simply an accident, because for 400 years, the Sasanian Empire was Rome's true equal. Sometimes it was even superior, thriving for 2 more centuries after Western Rome collapsed, preserving and advancing knowledge that sparked the Islamic Golden Age. When you stand before the colossal Tak-Kasra today, that massive brick vault still majestically stands after 14 centuries, steadfastly refusing to fall. It's a monument not just to engineering, but to a profound historical truth. Rome wasn't the only superpower that profoundly shaped the ancient world. The capture of Emperor Valerian wasn't just a military victory. It was a profound statement, literally carved in stone for powerful eternity. It powerfully declared that Persia would not be subordinate, would not be forgotten, and would not accept Rome's version of history as the only version. So when we truly ask who really built the medieval world, the complete answer begins to become undeniably clear. It wasn't just Roman inheritors, but also the Sassanians, their libraries, scholars, and systems of governance flowing into Islamic civilization, reshaping human knowledge. Every time you see a pointed arch, encounter Persian poetry, or trace the roots of algebra or astronomy, you're touching a vast legacy. This is the legacy of an empire that Western history tried to forget. The Sassanians outlasted Rome, and their achievements formed the foundation of what came next. History isn't solely written by the victors. It's written more powerfully by those who skillfully control the pervasive narrative. And perhaps it is now time we rewrote this important chapter, not to diminish Rome, but to finally see the whole, complete historical picture.